We have an update on resources and national partners with SADD, who is a great partner, by the way, and also part of our Transportation Safety Committee. Carol serves as our co-chair along with Bill. And with that, no further ado, I'll give it to you.
I think this might be working. Yeah. All right. We're good. Thank you, Steve. So I know we have at least one person in the room that hasn't heard me talk before. So real quick, I'm just going to go through who is SADD. So SADD is a more than 40-year-old nonprofit founded, unfortunately, out of tragedy. Drunk driving killed a number of high school students in the Massachusetts area, and their friends and family said no more. So over 40 years ago, SADD was founded, Students Against Driving Drunk at the time. And we were always to be a youth peer prevention, youth-led organization, which, no surprising, it was our youth that led us to our name change in the 90s to become Students Against Destructive Decisions. So we became much more encompassing beyond just drunk driving, impaired driving as a whole, which now more than ever, we have to talk about impairment. And I'm going to talk about one of the new resources I'd mentioned before, but for those who haven't heard it, I'm going to share that in a minute. But we also talk about mental health and wellness and safety, and all around the idea of youth-led peer prevention. We offer those resources at no charge to schools, community groups. We've got a number of drug-free communities groups that we're working with in Ohio. We'd love to do the same here in Kentucky. We provide a lot of great opportunities for young people on leaderships and scholarships and contests, and an incredible network of students around the country. And now actually in some Caribbean nations, we've gone international. So that's exciting and appealing for some young people as well. We have 3 major national campaigns: our Text Less, Live More, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about because of the things that are coming up. Rock the Belt, all about occupant protection. I know, listening to Bill's numbers on the number of unbelted fatalities, unfortunately, there's still a major need to talk to people about the need to wear their seatbelts. So we do a big focus on that, and a lot of very small and some fun ways. Things like encouraging young people to take seatbelt selfies and posting them on social. Of course, without keys in the ignition, right? Buckle up, take your selfie, post it, then you can put your car and drive. We have to be very specific about that to make sure they do it in that order. And then things like our Quick Click Challenge, which is a fun race kind of thing. Is it worth the risk? Addresses that impaired driving stuff. So very simple and easy. We've got a lot of great resources on our website. Our major focus on mobility safety, but we also focus on substance abuse prevention, personal health and safety, and we have some other things too, like some financial literacy resources, all free to our students, to parents, anyone that might be interested. On our website are these wonderful passports to safe driving. I have hard copies of these on the table. I have a whole box of them here. Feel free to take as many as you like. If you feel this is something that you could utilize in any presentations to parents, young people, I'm happy to get you more of these. In this hard copy kit, there are only 11 cards, 11 tip cards. Online, we have 12. So we can't keep this as updated as quickly. So I do have also some postcards for the Passport to Safe Driving, where you can share this with people. They can scan the QR code, go to our website and see tip card number 12 on marijuana, or all these other 11 cards that have things like obeying the speed limit. On one side are the adult talking points. On the flip side are teen tips. And we have lots of different subjects in here. We also promote things like our Contract for Life for safe driving, GDL or graduated driver's licensing. I have so many of these cards. Please, 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 everybody take like 2 handfuls with you when you leave. I'm trying to get rid of the boxes of these in my basement. I really want to get these distributed. If you want more, I will get you more of these. I have so many, I have thousands, no lie, thousands. The GDL cards are basically in a snapshot, gives you what the Kentucky GDL laws are, graduated driver's licensing. So really great tool that especially if you're talking to parents who may not be as familiar with this, their child gets it in driver's ed and doesn't relay the information. This is a great tool to use. On the back side of this is information about our Text Less, Live More program. I'm going to mention that in a minute. So we have a new partnership I'm really excited to share with you all. Our teen driving subcommittee, I shared this with all of them in December before it was kind of official. But we're very excited about Teens in the Driver's Seat. It is a program based out of Texas. Texas A&M created this. They have a sponsor for Kentucky to be able to provide free resource kits to schools. And then there are a number of things the schools have to use in order to get activity and in order to get credit, and then they also get funding. So each time they do a unit, there are 6 total units, the school can get money for that unit completed, up to a total of $1,500. It's a really exciting program. It can be by some considered a little intensive. It's meant to be that way. It focuses on things like seatbelts, impaired driving, drowsy driving. There are 6 different themes, 6 different units for the schools to go through. So seatbelt use is their January, February focus. And then distractions actually is not coming up in April. They do distractions at a different time, but the units can be done at any time. If you want more information, essentially, I am the boots on the ground SADD representative for Teens in the Driver's Seat. That's how our partnership is working. They provide all the funding and the resources and the back end. We are able to help schools with implementation and being that boots on the ground, getting the information out there. So that's how that partnership is working. The other things I wanted to give updates on real quick. So Text Less, Live More. This is our digital wellness. So not just about not texting and driving, but digital wellness as a whole. So coming up in March, Friday, March 3rd, if you weren't aware of this already, Friday, March 3rd was National Day of Unplugging. It's actually Global Day of Unplugging now, Friday, March 3rd. It is a day for people to put their devices aside. And I wanted to tell Bill, for pedestrians, I just want to scream at them, get your head out of your apps. So Friday, March 3rd is a great day to get your head out of your apps and put your device aside and live a little. So get out and take a walk or play with a puppy or read a book or go to the movies even. Anything that might get your head out of your apps is great for Friday, March 3rd. The week of March 13th is National Sleep Awareness Week. This is important as it relates to traffic safety because we see a lot more crashes during this week. People losing that hour of sleep you think wouldn't affect their bodies all that much, it does. So it takes a while for our bodies to readjust, and therefore there's a National Sleep Awareness Week. So we want you to be thinking about and sharing with others that they shouldn't be drowsy driving. I have a video, hopefully it works, that talks about this that I wanted to share with you all and thinking about drowsy driving. Also focusing on things like National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week. Take Down Tobacco Day is March 31st this year. And then in April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, as well as Global Volunteer Month. So we focus a lot of our students, our groups, on distracted driving awareness and activities. A lot of times it's also incorporated into pre-prom activities that we do to talk not just about impaired driving, but also distractions. It's a great time to do that. So we spend a lot of time in April talking about distracted driving and utilizing our Text Less, Live More resources. We have these fun little bracelets they can get as a reminder to text less and live more. We do pledge signings and all kinds of easy things with our students that we provide in a bunch of guides and resources. So hopefully, one last one. I know I mentioned this previously with our partners from AAA. AAA Northeast created Shifting Gears, the blunt truth about marijuana and driving. I love a good play on words, so I'm really glad they chose the blunt truth about marijuana and driving. I have shared this information with hundreds of students now since last fall. April is a great time to consider presenting something like Shifting Gears because 420 is a big day as it pertains to marijuana. So I'm sure you all know that. So great time in April to talk about marijuana. This particular content is focused on the statistics and the science. It's not about whether marijuana is good or bad. It's just about the statistics as it relates to car crashes and in the increase of them across the country when marijuana is legalized, and the science about the developing brain and what marijuana does to it. So the last thing I have, and hopefully this will work. Do you want to play it, Ashley, or you want me to click on my link here? Okay, let's see if it lets me do it.
This driver looks very tired, and there's only one cure for it: getting rest. It's common to become drowsy or fatigued while driving, especially when driving late at night or on long, boring roads. And when drivers become tired, their driving abilities suffer. Drowsiness can negatively affect every aspect of driving. In fact, the effects of fatigue can be similar to the effects of alcohol. That's one reason why drowsy driving is recognized as a leading cause of traffic crashes. It's estimated that over 100,000 crashes are caused by drowsy driving each year. Plus, about 1 out of every 6 fatal crashes involves a drowsy driver. But who are these drivers? Who tends to fall asleep behind the wheel? First, it's drivers who are sleep deprived, who haven't gotten enough sleep. In fact, just staying awake for 18 hours straight can cause impairments in your driving ability approximately equal to a blood alcohol level of 0.05%. After staying awake for 24 straight hours, a driver's impairment can be similar to that of a blood alcohol level of 0.10%. Young drivers are also at high risk for getting sleepy behind the wheel, especially new drivers. In fact, over 2/3 of drivers involved in drowsy driving crashes are under age 30. These drivers are 4 times more likely to be involved in a fall-asleep crash than drivers who are ages 30 and older. Many drivers think that their bodies will tell them when they're getting tired, so they can stop driving before fatigue really sets in. However, about half of the time, your body will give no signs of fatigue, and that means that drowsiness can sneak up on any driver. The important point is not to rely on your body to give you signs that you're getting tired. The only real solution is to get enough rest before you hit the road. Also, when you're driving for more than 2 hours, be sure to take breaks along the way. Stop at least every 100 miles or every 2 hours and take a break from driving. Lastly, avoid driving when taking any medications that might cause drowsiness, such as decongestants. And if you get tired on the road, pull over, find a safe place, and get the rest you need. Drowsy driving is deadly, and it is a leading killer of young drivers. Your body needs its rest. Make sure you get plenty before you hit the road.
If you're a homeowner in Kentucky and
So I just wanted to share that. Not a lot of people think about drowsy driving and its effects on our roadways. So if you're interested in learning more about any of the SADD resources, partnering with us, learning more about Teens in the Driver's Seat or TDS, I'm happy to share that. My contact information is here. I live in Cincinnati, so I'm not that far away from really anywhere in Kentucky. Closer to most places than I am to Cleveland, to be perfectly honest. One last thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned, if you didn't see it already, the Kentucky Lifesavers Conference is coming up in April in Louisville. Postcards are on the table out there. I will be presenting at the conference. I've been asked to present on some school resources and such. But I know there are going to be a lot of great things happening at that. So you can also come and visit me at my expo booth at the Kentucky Lifesavers Conference. So that's all I have for my updates. Staying on time, Steve. And please, 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 please take these postcards, please. Okay,